everybody. Welcome back to this week's segment of KeyNotes. I'm joined here with Spencer. He is our digital media specialist. We just had a funny conversation about how they just vary from agency to agency. So it's just funny how those different titles change. And then my name's Hannah Wilson. I am the ad ops manager here at KeyMedia Solutions. Today we're going to be talking about Looker Studio marketing tips and tricks, but we'll just give a few minutes for everybody to join on. So feel free to add your questions to the comments in the meantime. We will answer them live here as you're chatting with us. But I'm very excited to talk about this topic today. And I think I can speak for Spencer too here on this. Reports are one of our favorite things here at KMS. I can especially talk about how it was difficult to narrow this down into a 10-minute discussion because we could talk all day about reports.
Yeah, I was gonna say it definitely was a little hard to constrain it all for 10 minutes, but that just means that we have stuff to talk about later, so it works. So we'll have another 10 at 10 at some other point with some cool info.
Yeah, we already have ideas of little segments we could break this up into for Looker because there's just so much to cover, so much data that can be pulled into your reports, so much blending. It's very cool what this tool can do. So I'm excited to talk about it today.
Cool. So we can probably get it kicked off though if you.
All right, sounds good. So like I said, we're going to be discussing Looker Studio today. It is a tool that we use here at KeyMedia Solutions. So we're pretty well versed in it. But just if it's a new tool to you, I'm just going to really quickly talk about what Looker Studio is and what exactly it does. So Looker Studio is a free web-based tool that will allow you to create and share reports or dashboards. We'll kind of use the term dashboards and reports in the same way here today. Internally, we refer to them as dashboards, but your business may call them reports. But Looker allows you to seamlessly integrate with majority of the Google products out there. That includes analytics, Google Ads, Google Tag Manager, Google Search Console, all the full gamut of the Google tools. They can typically be connected to Looker Studio for free at no cost. So already right there, that's a benefit, is that this tool starts for free for you. So even if you've never played around with it, I really encourage you to at least start with analytics because, like I said, it's free. You can build some really customized reports that may be geared toward your website. We all know that the transition into GA4 was not an easy, seamless one. The universal analytics in GA4 differed quite a bit in usability. So I do recommend trying to set up a Looker Studio report with your analytics and see if you can find some more valuable data with that. But other benefits of Looker Studio is that these are real-time reports. They refresh every few minutes, so they should be fairly real-time and accessible 24/7. There's no certain time frame that they're available. They will load for you at any point in the day. And another big one with Looker Studio is their blended data feature. This allows you to blend data from across multiple sources. It's very cool that I think you can bring in about 5 dimensions to be able to blend that data together. All of these awesome things that Looker brings to the table allow you and your team to make faster marketing decisions, that 24/7 access to your data. It's being digestible in an easy to understand format. You can easily share this with your team. All of these things allow your team to make faster marketing decisions and always reference that dashboard. Another awesome thing about this tool is that you can use what's called calculated fields to customize your cost per conversion. You can pull in all of these different metrics from, let's just say, Google Analytics is your form submission, but you want to reference that to how many of these form submissions are coming from Meta and how many are coming from Google Ads. You can pull all this data together, blend it, and create a calculated field to analyze your cost per conversion. There's a lot of capabilities similar to as if you're working in a spreadsheet. You can create formulas within Looker to pull that data that you're looking for. Now, something you may be wondering, because I did just say the word Meta. Well, that's not one I listed as one of the free ones, unfortunately. There, you can pull all this data into your Looker Studio, but not for free. There is typically a cost associated with the software that connects the two, and that is called a data connector. So it essentially pulls the data via API from the platform, pulls it into the software, and then imports it into your Looker Studio report. So it's kind of the connector between the two, but you do typically have to pay for that. The one that our preferred one that we use here in house is Funnel, maybe something that you've heard, or another similar common one is Supermetrics.
Yeah, and a few things before you get started within Looker Studio is you really have to kind of like define what you're looking for. So you have to define what your KPIs are. So would that be people accessing your website and submitting forms? Would that be people buying stuff on your website? Would that be booking appointments? So that's kind of something you have to consider before looking at Looker Studio, is kind of have first kind of set what you're looking for, and then build it out from there. So that way you kind of you can kind of tweak it to how you want, so you can know what a conversion is properly. And it actually creates some clarity and helps you to actually have an actionable dashboard within.
For sure. Yeah. And something we like to discuss here is, you have your vanity metrics, your clicks, your impressions, your click-through rate, right? That's all great information, but it's available in the platform. So you're kind of doing yourself a disservice in if you're building a dashboard and you're only pulling in those same metrics. To Spencer's point, you really want to figure out what is the most valuable action that can lead to growth in your business. So that's when you're talking KPIs. We always encourage you to stay away from those vanity metrics whenever possible, trying to drill down to that cost per conversion, your conversion rate. Those are going to tell you the more valuable things happening on your website. And another thing that is important, okay, well, we know our KPIs. Now what? The faster and more accessible your KPIs are at all times, that gives you more opportunity to make faster, more actionable things within your strategy, make adjustments. Whatever your strategy needs, you can have access to that, and you can see those increases and decreases on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, whatever makes sense for your team. So all that fun stuff aside, we're now going to show you just an example of something that what one of our reports looks like. Let me just start on our KPIs page here. So as you see in our Looker Studio report, one of our number one things that we will focus on, and this is almost always our homepage, is those KPIs. So we've got our clicks and our impressions. That's all good. But here you'll see we have it listed with conversions and conversion rates. And then below that, we have it broken out by each of our platforms. This really gives us that omni-channel view into which tactics are performing the best for us, and where we can make strategic adjustments to get the most return on ad spend.
Yep. And you'll kind of notice at the top with the dates. So it's also flexible. So we're able to go between dates. So if you're wanting
Yep.
to see, like, how did we perform back in, last year, same time, we're able to take those metrics and look at it. And I
Yep.
believe how the actual comparison, like you see those numbers underneath where it says like -3% or whatever,
Yep.
that's comparing it to previous periods. So that's something also adjustable that we're able to look at and kind of help to get an idea of what KPIs might have looked like before.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of really great features that allow you to customize your data. So if we just wanted to look at the first 2 weeks of February, and compare those to the previous week, 2 weeks in January, we can do that. You'll see that, here we're able to identify that conversions took a dip, in those 2 weeks.
Yep.
All these things that are able to give you the tools to spot things quickly, make quick adjustments. It's really just a great tool to keep insight into your ads.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, and definitely like mostly with that 60%, like if I saw that, I'd be like, okay, there's obviously something's wrong with either a connector or something's wrong with the ad itself. And so
Right.
it kinda helps us to indicate what's going on a little bit.
Yeah.
And then yeah, kind of going off of this page that we're looking at right here. So kind of the cool features that you have, as you can see, so it's like custom menu. So we're able to customize the menu, and we'll kind of get into a little bit later. Something that's coming up soon for some of our current clients. Just having the custom menu, being able to like have each of your tactics listed out. Is pretty interesting, and then being able to have your own branded colors as the background, and also being able to import images. So if you want your brand logo, we're able to do that. And being able, like, as Hannah had mentioned with the blended data, she was able to take all that data and kind of blend it together, and we're able to do that, which is pretty interesting. And then with conditional formatting, Hannah, you might know a little bit more about conditional formatting.
You can set rules within your charts that allow you to highlight certain metrics. So, for the example I have here, any conversion rate over 6% gets a highlight. Um, this just gives you a place to see your strong indicators here.
Yeah. And then so another thing that's pretty cool with our dashboards is we're also able to, so as you can see, we have top ad groups. We're able to change that name. So if we don't want it to say top ad groups, we're able to reformat that however we want. So depending on if your industry doesn't call it a creative or doesn't call it an ad group, we're able to change that up. So if we can have it be top ad set, we can have it be top image, whatever works better for you. That works for every single conversion or any kind of metric. We're able to adjust that, which is pretty cool. So it
Yeah.
gives us a lot of the dashboards give us a lot of flexibility, not only with the data but also with customization.
Mhm.
As you can see with charts and everything, we're able to change anything that had anything visual on here. We're basically able to change, whether that be colors or yeah, as you can see, we have our logo towards the bottom. There's a lot of flexibility that there is within Looker Studio.
Yeah. Um, and that's a big portion of why we call it, oh, excuse me,
Oh, you're good.
having a coughing attack.
I almost had one a second ago too, so
Yeah.
it went to one of us.
Oh, allergy season, right? But I was just gonna say that's a big reason why we call it a dashboard and not a report, is because it truly is a customized dashboard for your business.
Mhm.
Uh, and something that I see we're running a little low on time now,
Mhm.
and this is kind
We're
of
good.
where we go back to Spencer and I could talk about this all day.
This could be a
Um,
40-minute discussion right now.
yeah, we better check on those comments.
Oh, yeah, if anyone has any comments, feel free to drop them.
Yeah, so there's so
Questions.
much data you can add in here. We have hardly even scraped the surface. You can connect to your CRM data. You can connect to HubSpot, your CMS. You can also connect to Google Sheets if you need to do manual imports. That's another option instead of going a paid route. There is manual reporting you could do by importing it into Google Sheets.
Mhm.
So
And actually, with some of our, which we're recently starting to roll out for some of our dashboards, is a creative tab. So you're actually able to see what creatives we have running in platform
Yep.
in real time, which is pretty cool to have. And then also with new navigation, kind of as I had mentioned earlier, and Glossary has it. So previously we had the navigation just within the dashboard itself. Now we have it on the left side, and it's able to actually have a folder looking setup to it, which is much nicer and much more user friendly. And also allows us to update a lot more frequently. It's much nicer, much more user friendly than what was previously capable. Which, yeah, some of those changes you'll start seeing within your dashboards. If you're a client, you'll be starting to see those within probably about a month, I believe. But yeah, it's just some things to look forward to.
And Looker's constantly rolling out new features. They actually have a status page that we can add the link to the comments after this live is over, but it tells you all the new features being rolled out. Just in the last few years, a lot of things have changed with Looker. So one more thing again that I should mention, there is a paid version of Looker that you can do. We find that the free version works for us. So if there is more that you're needing Looker to do, just know that that option is out there. But yeah, like I said, we could talk about this tool all day.
Yeah.
So if you have questions on it, certain hangups in getting the data that you need, feel free to reach out to us at any time. We've got some experts on staff about Looker Studio reports, so we're
And
happy to
yeah,
answer.
we love talking about Looker Studio. So it literally, if you send us messages or any questions about it, that would probably be our top priority, because we just love actually delving into the data and looking at everything on Looker Studio. So
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Any questions come in the last few minutes
not
before we
looking like
were?
it, but yeah, you guys can feel free to. I think it gets posted onto whatever platform you're watching. It should get posted. You should be able to comment if you have any comments, or you can just directly message us on whatever platform you're on. But yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week. I'm not sure if we have it quite scheduled on who's doing it next week or what the topic is, but feel free to be sure to check out our pages and make sure to see what's going on next week, because we'll have something cool coming up.
And if you have more topics based on Looker Studio, please let us know. Like I said, we're always looking for ideas that we can drill down and get the information that you want out of these. So,
Yep. Yep. Awesome.
all right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.